A lot of business owners don't understand the size of their actual audience. And I want to talk about that a little bit because even if you don't have a gigantic following on these platforms like Instagram, it really doesn't matter because as long as you're producing content, there's going to be consumers of that content. And these people, these views, the people that watch to the end but maybe didn't follow you, or they watch your content and they don't like it, share it, or do anything with it, they're still being tracked by the algorithm. And this is a really important and often ignored part of the process because if you're just worrying about your follower numbers, you're missing the whole point. So I want to talk a little bit about this and let's break it down, okay? So, a couple of concepts. One, we have cold traffic. Cold traffic is new people that have never seen you before. They have no idea what your business is about. They're just coming across you for the first time. Warm traffic, these are people that are familiar with you. This is what I'm talking about. If you have people that are consuming your content and they're not following yet, well, these are still warm people because they're still consuming what you have to offer. Okay. So technically, this is what I call the invisible list, is because these people are being tracked by the algorithm as showing interest. Okay. And then we have our hot audience members. These are the people that consume everything that you put out. And these are usually your best buyers just waiting for the right opportunity to come out of the woodwork. So, how does all this break down? How does this work? Well, let's talk a little bit about that, okay? So, when you're creating your content, and this goes for organic and ads, okay? It really doesn't matter. But when you're creating your content, what you're doing is you're putting out different pieces of content, okay? These little squares are little reels that you've put out throughout the week, okay? And what Meta does, or whatever platform you're on, what they do is they test your content with different audiences. They will test it in different pools of the daily users to see where it resonates. And if it gets past a certain point, a certain threshold, it will then start to move that out and get you more and more people watching. But there's a trick that happens before even that occurs. And what it does is it will actually take your content and it will send it to a test group of people that are technically your warm traffic. These are the people on your invisible list. And it will test your content with them and it will see if it resonates with them. So, yes, it will send some of it to cold. Let's do blue for that. So, it will test your content with the cold audience members out there, the people that have not seen you yet, but it will also be testing it with your warm leads as well. And I call them leads because they really are leads. If you think about it, if you're a shop that sells clothing, or if you're a lawyer looking for, new clients or whatever it is that you sell, it really doesn't matter because it's still going to attract the right people and it's really going to measure their interest just based on watch time. And that's a really important metric when we talk about this stuff, is literally watch time, because all of this works best, as I found, with video watch time. It's the best metric for them to go by because it literally it's just the easiest thing to measure. If I were to show you a graphic, and I'm not saying graphics don't have a place or anything, and I'm not trying to be biased, or I'm really not. I just want people to understand that video, if I could get you to watch a 3 to 5 minute video, there's a really good chance that you're a lot more interested in what I have to offer if I could get you to the end of that video. And it's a really strong signal for the algorithm to understand that and then add them to that warm audience list. And then when you put out new content, test it with them and then find other people like those people that have similar interests and test it with them. So it's kind of like this growth thing that happens. And you really have to understand that the best signal for that right now is video. A little numbers here, okay? So let's say you have 50,000 followers. Now, there's really not a good way for organic folks out there. There's not a good way to know how many people are on this list. But for the organic folks, let's say you have 50,000 followers, right? Or if you have 100,000 followers, or even if you have 5,000 followers. Point is, these people are definitely warm. And a lot of times your invisible list is like multiple times what this number is. You might have like 100,000 people in your audience and not even realize it yet. With ads, it's a little different because you can track this and you can have an idea of how many people are on that just with the ads itself. But it's really important to understand because I think when people are creating content, they might say that social media is not working or it doesn't really do anything or the ads don't work, anything like that. But the truth of the matter is if you're on the conveyor belt and you're producing more content that's good, that's helpful, that literally would attract the people that you are trying to attract, if you just stuck to it, you will start seeing progress with that over time. It might not be instant, but it is something that builds over time because, again, we're trying to fill our invisible list with interested people. And that takes time. Ads speed that up. That's what you're paying for, is you're paying for speed. You're paying to get somewhere faster. But if you wanted to do this with organic content, you could do it as well. Bottom line is it's like pushing a car. You have to use a lot of effort in the beginning to produce a lot of content so that way you can start moving the wheels a little bit at a time. And then as you get that audience built up and as you get those views more easily, or in the case of ads, if you let the ads run for a longer amount of time, you're going to start seeing that momentum build. And that's really what this whole game is about. So if you guys found this helpful, let me know in the comments because I'm curious. Thanks for watching.